Other people just struggle to keep the lights on. So I want to talk to you today about how to make $1 million step by step. And I'm not going to give you any theory because I don't know any. I don't know any theories. I just know the stuff that I do, and I am here to tell you, I've got great news for you. It is literally, everybody say literally. It is literally no harder to make $1 million than it is to make $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. No harder. In fact, I would submit to you that it's actually easier because of the things that you have to do to make $1 million are not based on hard work. I think part of the reason we struggle our way through existence is because of the lies that we buy, and they cost too much. We bought into lies like, you got to work hard for your money. Well, do you? We bought into lies like time is money. Is it? We bought into lies like a hard day's work for a hard day's pay. Here's why I'm talking about this. If I believe that a hard day's work for a hard day's pay is right, and I desire to be a good, honest, honorable, noble person, then I am going to ignore the easy answers that could work and only take action when I find the hard things that might work. Go get the straw yourself. Make the bricks. And by the way, you better not make one brick less today than you made yesterday. So he doubled down on their work. And somehow they got programmed, they got just commanded to build the bricks that build the kingdom that enslaves us. The bricks that we build that build the kingdom that enslaves us are the thoughts that we keep rethinking that have already demonstrated that they can't serve us, nor do they give us the ability to serve anybody else. The habits that we've developed that are to our detriment, and we can see clearly that they're to our detriment, but we don't get rid of those habits and replace them with some new ones. And so most people, $80,000, then making $1 million, it's just logical. It has to be 35 times harder. Because I don't realize that the things that I do that make $30,000 a year, regardless of how many hours I work or how hard I work in those hours, is never going to make me $1 million a year. So I've got a faulty equation based on faulty programming, and so I never stop to think about how do you make $1 million. And since the thought never enters my head, I never think about how to do it, and because then I have to think about all that hard work. You see how it's a trap? And we've been programmed by the system that in order for answers to be right, they have to be hard to come by. Has anybody ever diagrammed a sentence as an adult? I'm just wondering. Is there anybody in this room who's ever diagrammed a sentence as an adult? Right. Why? Because adults don't diagram sentences. So instead of teaching our children to do things that they will have to do for the rest of their lives, we make them memorize a bunch of random, totally useless information to validate the intelligentsia of the institution and to document and validate the degree of the teachers in those institutions. What if instead we made education about our children's preparation? Well, there's a novel concept. Then maybe when we got to be adults, we wouldn't be 35, 45, 55 years old, wandering around in the wilderness of indecision, attempting to figure out how to make our life work. Because I'm telling you right now, all of the principles that you need to know to become financially independent, you could have understood them in the 5th grade. So the question then becomes, how long have I been out of the 5th grade? That's a good question. I've been out of the 5th grade for a while. So how comes it's not working? Because I've avoided it subconsciously. By the way, let me say this. I thought you were going to teach me how to make $1 million. I am. That's what I'm doing right now. See, but you think you know what it looks like even though you never made $1 million. This is what teaching how to make $1 million step by step looks like. Because if you don't start here, it doesn't matter if I teach you what to do. If I don't show you how to become the person who will do it, you're not going to do it. It all begins with beliefs. So you believe that making $1 million a year is hard, so you don't do it. I don't believe making $1 million an hour is hard. So sometimes I have $1 million hours. And I know you don't think that's fair. But what you don't realize, I don't care. I don't care about fair. You know why? When I was in elementary school, my dad told me, boy, I'm going to tell you something. Life ain't fair. Yes, sir. I knew life wasn't fair when I was in elementary school. See how much stuff you can learn in elementary school if you just pay attention? So it starts with belief. So I'm going to teach you something about belief that will help you accomplish anything that you desire to accomplish for the rest of your life. Everybody say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, here it is. Never assign a level of difficulty to something before you even take the first step. People who achieve don't look at stuff and think about how hard it's going to be. Ever. It is just what it is. It's only going to be as hard as it is. It can't possibly be any harder than that. And so what happens is when you look at something, like people who desire to get to a certain weight, they look, well, but I've tried dieting before. Well, maybe dieting isn't the way to get to your desired weight. People who are not healthy. Yeah, but I've tried taking supplements and exercising and I don't like it. Okay, that's fine. But see, you already have demonstrated that you don't know what to do. And so now because you don't know what to do, you're assigning a level of difficulty to what to do based on